I'm sure you've been on YouTube to notice the whole your favorite songs are missing. If you live in America situation, like Nirvana, there are apparently Kendrick songs you can't listen to, Britney Spears songs, Kanye West songs, among others that you can't listen to at this point. That's all because of a funny little brand named SESAC. Now, I have my own input on this that is incredibly valid, but I want to go over the general overview of what happened before I get into why I am mad. I am not a happy camper about all this, and it's not just because of the music. But let's take a talk here. YouTube didn't pay a license, and since they didn't pay that license, SESAC is taking down a bunch of their songs, which, yikes. Turns out a bunch of those songs a lot of Americans really like. Big fucking yikes. But what exactly does this mean for your general person? Okay, your general person, you just switch over to Spotify. There's not really much else to say, just go switch over to Spotify. But for someone like me, on the other hand, that's a bit more difficult to answer. So let's talk about copyright. I have been making content for the last 2 years, and I occasionally make covers of songs and such, and in the background I am practicing on guitar, making other videos, and stuff like this. But the real problem for me in this entire situation is, what if something like this hits with another company that has control over a large section of music in America or some other country that YouTube just decides not to pay? What if I make a cover on one of those songs and I suddenly don't have the right to use those songs anymore? Then I'm not making revenue, or potentially even worse, my video might get copyright striked. I want you to sit in your chair and think about that for a second. A copyright strike for a video you've already made that could have been years ago, and because YouTube can't pay whatever they need to pay, we could get hit with a copyright strike, depending on the content, I suppose, or depending on the guideline changes. But that's a very extreme case, I will admit, but this cannot be overstated that shit like this is absolutely greedy. Completely and utterly greedy. YouTube could have just paid them what they were asking, and I'm sure that that contract it might have been increasing year by year. I'm not fucking YouTube. I can't see the money behind the scenes, and maybe they were asking for something more than they asked last year because the music makes more money. I'm not so sure about all of that. What I am sure about is, if this can happen so easily to big mainstream music, it can hurt the smaller people too. And that's something I am extraordinarily concerned about, because this is my livelihood. This isn't just my hobby. I want to turn this into my full-time job, and if music companies are going to make that harder for me, I don't feel so comfortable making covers on YouTube. That's about all I wanted to talk about. Smaller video, but SESAC fucking sucks, and I hope they die in a hole. Yeah, that'll be it.